Welcome to this RTS early evening event. Social media muscles in on TV. What is Twitter thinking about in terms of video? What are your headline strategies? What are your ambitions in video?
We at Twitter know that our users or audience love TV. 95% of live social conversation around TV happens on Twitter. We also know that when there's strong programming or great programming, it drives a peak in tweets. And when there are a lot of tweets about programming, it drives greater viewing on TV. So it's that real reciprocal relationship. We don't see it as muscling in our case. We like to partner. We like to buddy up with you all. And we do actually partner with a lot of people in this room. We're always looking, for example, rolling out of live, whether we're doing it with the NFL, the debates, various other things. We want to search for new opportunities to work closer with you.
You're going to do more of that?
Well,
actually buying rights?
We want to partner with people,
good.
and I think people want money.
So you've got some money to hand out to people who have live rights?
If anyone's got live rights, I've got some money to hand out. So feel free to come and chat to me about that afterwards.
So we work with people who are great storytellers. Some of those great storytellers are sports leagues and clubs. Some of those great storytellers are broadcasters and production companies. In the past, if you were a UK broadcaster, it was probably hard to have distribution beyond the UK. If you were a production company, definitely hard. Now, thanks to platforms like YouTube and others, you can reach a global audience. We are working with some established YouTube creators to allow them to create shows that they wouldn't otherwise create now. Mm-hmm. And so we might be giving them some financial assistance to do that, and we might also be giving them some assistance in just with scripts and production techniques to familiarise themselves with a new world.
And we've seen a massive shift from text to text and photos are still very, very large on Facebook and, of course, Instagram. Video, live video, and now we're starting to see people experience 360 videos. And going forward, I think you can anticipate more immersive VR experiences. So what we're doing is both reflecting a trend in the industry, but also reacting to the demands and the interests of our users who just are super excited about creating more video, consuming more video. Just in that year since we launched Facebook Live, our video use has gone to about 500 million people per day.
So we do reinvest more than half of the revenue that we make in content. Mm-hmm. If you look at how much PSBs in this country reinvest of their total revenue in content, according to the numbers I've seen from Enders, I think for Channel 4 it's 57%, for the BBC it's 55%. So actually we probably all reinvest about the same in content as public service broadcasters reinvest in content.
Is online video going to kill television? I always said no. And in fact, you see this interesting coming together. There's a very vibrant online video world that is actually populated more and more so with professional content from major media organizations, from Netflix. You see this acquisition boom of, like a Now This or a Vox, from NBC Universal, CNN acquiring Beamy. So, you see this crossover as things start to settle. It's become very mature. Now what people are trying to figure out is social and how does that play into it. And that's a different dynamic as well.
Some of the greatest innovators on social media and digital are television companies. Right. So, and I think that some of the technology that they're using to, whether it's reach new audiences or different audiences or just connect in a different way, what Sky do, for example, is phenomenal.
Do you think that we're going to see, a channel, sort of a more for type channel using YouTube as a primary distribution platform? Or what kind of other opportunities do you see for people who are creating content?
It's only reasonable that people will have a mixed distribution strategy. There's lots and lots of ways to reach an engaged global audience. Mm-hmm. So I think that people will use all the distribution platforms that are relevant to them.
The constant red herring is it's one or the other.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone is saying that. People who use YouTube also use Twitter. They also use Facebook. They also use Snapchat. They also watch TV. And it's actually, the choice is not a bad thing. How can they compel people to watch their video with sound in a discovery mindset? They have to make it strong at the beginning.
It's an amazing time to be a viewer. It's an amazing time to be a storyteller. And the pace of change is increasing, not settling down. So there's no playbook that's going to last for the next 20 years, apart from tell good stories.
What I would like to have a little bit more focus on is this question of fake news. Mm-hmm. There is now emerging evidence that the impact of your services are having quite profound effects on democratic outcomes. So I'd like to know what more you're going to do about fake news and trying to stop it.
We acknowledge that a small percentage, more than anyone would like, of misinformation has been spread on platforms like Facebook, and we're spending a lot of time trying to figure out how to improve that. A number of things, Mark Zuckerberg just did a post on Facebook that has 7 things that we're working on. You can go see the detail, but it's really looking at third parties to help us identify much more obvious ways for people to flag content that they see as potentially false. Technology that will allow us to sift through and look at people with bad history in the past and maybe deprecate them within the newsfeed. There's a multitude of human and technical interventions that we can do, but the thing that we can't do is become the judge on what is true and what is not true.
When it becomes apparent to us that content could be misrepresentative, or certainly if it violates any of the policies, then it'll be taken down. We also have a follow the money approach. So we've got policies in place, and this applies to Google, not so much YouTube, but anywhere where Google's selling advertising actually, to make sure that if there's video out there which is misrepresentative or inaccurate, then it won't be monetized. And I think that takes away a huge incentive to put the content there in the first place. I think it's important, though, that the internet is a place for free speech. So it wouldn't be for us to become a regulator of the internet or a censor of the internet.
Thank you very much for your participation. I hope you enjoyed it. And could you help me to thank our wonderful panel? That's Patrick Walker, Stephen Nuttall, and Dara Nassar. Thank you very much.